Hello, Craftyandy, and these are my thoughts. Let me tell you a story.
Is it a true story?
Yes, little Johnny, it's a true story.
You're about to see a show for parents and children about tricky people.
I guess I need to share this and demonstrate how to handle a under 18 person trying to hook up with you. Whether you are a public figure or not, it does apply. It was the EDP445 incident that inspired me to share this story. For the uninformed, Eat That Pussy, EDP for short, class act, was a big YouTuber with millions of subs, was around for a while, I never heard of him. He got baited to meet a non-existent 13-year-old girl for sex by a racist, homophobic child predator who ran a show called Predator Poachers. And yes, I did describe that individual correctly.
It's probably a fucking angry or something.
Oh, you're right.
That there were some black guys in the squadron that went on the beach even though they can't swim. Very cool.
This guy had millions of subs. He was able to just put videos out without any thumbnails or thought whatsoever and get hundreds of thousands of views. Must be nice. And this is what he does with his power. It's one of those things that I have trouble wrapping my head around, and I'm pretty sure this applies to most people. I'm in my 30s. If I was in the dating scene, I wouldn't want anyone under the car rental age at this point. That's 25. How much of a delusional dumbass do you have to be to think that a teenager will want your old dick? When me and my friends were 13, we looked at our 20-something-year-old teachers as old and decrepit. My story today is about an individual trying to worm his way into my life, and we'll just call him Charlie for namesake. This individual, Charlie, got onto this dating app for 18-year-olds and up, which does let you know who's close by to you in your area. Charlie messages me, and the conversation didn't go outside of introductions because I took one look of his profile where he states his age is 15. Nope, fuck that shit, I'm out. He also messaged one of my husbands saying he's looking for friends to hang out with, blah blah. I would like to come over, but there's just one problem. I'm 15, so I'll need a ride. How are you here? Looking at this moron's profile, I say he's a moron because first, he's dumb enough to not lie about his age to get on 18 plus websites like my hyper-intelligent big brain generation did. I was 18 for 6 years of my life, from 12 to 17 as far as the internet's concerned. But don't do that. That would violate TOS. Second was the bio that he had, which was what really killed me. I'm 15. I don't get why people make such a big deal over age. Age is just a number. Yeah, 15 is just a number, and so is 10 to 20 years in prison. He was shortly banned off the site, but here's the thing. What I learned from watching Cothrix's Leaving the Fandom Back in 5 Minutes video, there are a lot of young teens and dumb adults that just don't get it.
Tricky people. Everywhere you look, it could be another tricky person.
So let good old Craftyandy educate you. See, the thing is, if you are a teen going to hang out with a bunch of older adults because you're so mature and grown up for your age, first of all, you are setting yourself to be taken advantage of, especially depending on how older the person is. Granted, most 18-year-olds don't have anything going on outside a part-time minimum wage job, but as time goes on, the natural experience one gets gives a older person an edge on people whose emotions and mentalities have yet to fully develop. On the flip side, if I were to invite this individual to a party, event, my house, without any kind of qualified supervision, would it really matter what the intentions are? Wouldn't it really matter if the parents busted in and said,
"What are you guys doing? Getting into trouble! It's fun getting into trouble!"
It doesn't matter what either person says happened or didn't happen. Wouldn't matter what the parents say or what the teen himself or herself says. The assumption would be made of malicious intent. I can already picture how the conversation would go with the police, especially if the accused is gay. Look, son, we get that you're saying that you didn't have sex and wasn't intending to, but a judge isn't going to buy that. You will be found guilty, and you can either take the guilty plea and sign this paper and go home, or you can claim not guilty and inevitably go to prison for 20 years. So that was the end of that incident. When it comes to this EDP situation here, I went through Critical's videos on the matter, which I'll link down below. Essentially, Predator Poachers baited this guy with a 13-year-old, and EDP's response was like, yeah, all right, let's do that.
Kiss your daddy goodnight. Sleep tight, princess. If I'm being honest, it's that I can't wait to feel how tight your vagina is. Cock is really hard. That's how it gets when guys get horny. He's really gone in hard now. He's fucking firing in the turbo boosters here.
And these chat logs go on for a while. I'll just say that. And it's, yeah, there's no defending it. For some reason, people that make destructive decisions, though, fascinate me. I want to get into the details on what makes them tick. What's the thought process behind doing something that just comes off as fucking stupid to anyone looking in from the outside? This guy sent a picture of his dick and his actual shit to this planted 13-year-old and thinking, why? Why? And this is coming from a grown-ass man who looks like this and prefers events full of this.
All these dogs around me. Ew. Yeah. I want to get fleas. No. Ew. I'm a clean doggy.
This shit's pretty weird.
How do people like EDP get made, and what do we put in place so that people with these fantasies never allow themselves to go this far? And people get a little touchy about this. If you don't care about the how and why, then I would say you care more about enforcing some jerk-off fantasy punishment than you care about harm prevention. Of course, if a person harmed someone I loved, of course I'd want to do terrible things to them. Spit on your grave style.
Breathe through your nose. Breathe through your nose. Come on.
However, my emotional compromise shouldn't override a good governing value system that does focus on rehabilitation over pure, endless punishment.
The idea is I make a mistake at 25 years old, I go to jail for 5 years or prison for 5 years, and then I get out. What do I have to look forward to? If forever I'm going to wear the scarlet letter, convict, the C, that says I'll never get another opportunity. Life is over then.
Figuring out the why is not an excuse for harmful behavior, but a path to identify and correct potentially harmful behavior. Now I have to mention it. Ironically, the predator poacher Chet Goldstein is a racist, homophobe, and a predator himself. Having a teen send him lewd pics of themselves so he can use it for predator bait, or so he claims.
Yeah, now just start going up and down with it. I know they asked for this stuff, man. Fucking Nick. Oh shit, I sent that in front of 216 people.
Laurel_Potence. I'm a team member of Predator Poachers and like to talk to your dumb liberal ass. You're a clout chaser and do zero research before you dip your Jewy nose into Didn't even know Chet's real name. Congrats, you're as reliable as CNN. You watch out before I bone your mother.
He doesn't care about protecting children. He has just taken advantage that these types of people are seen as less than. If this guy was in Russia, he'd be baiting teens to beat and force feed urine for being gay like they do over there. So yeah, no heroes in this story at all. I've been on the internet for a long time, observing people long enough to notice a lot of insecure individuals who are very active online who will do stuff like predator poachers to lesser degrees. They get all witch hunt mode on anyone that shows any kind of hints they find suspect, or maybe just people they don't like, to the point where they make accusations with little basis. Just look up controversial stories related to Spectre theory and Dishonored Wolf. At times, these people only end up outing themselves as being some type of predator. Case in point, predator poachers. In fact, I had my own experience with this some years ago. This kid, I say he's a kid, but he was in his early 20s. This guy, we'll just call him Charlie for namesake. Charlie was upset over not wanting us to be part of his car telegram group, so he went on a rumor spree all over our local meetups that we didn't even attend, talking about me and my husbands to whoever knew or didn't know us, in chat rooms, with DMs, and in person, involving many strangers and friends of ours. He was later caught with CP on his computer and had to plead guilty. 4 years in jail. He got out early due to COVID. And then he went off and tried to do the same shit again. Trying to take down other people with him somehow. Trying to bait them or send them files they don't want. That sort of thing. Just makes you think about some of the people who give an impression they feel a need to prove they are a good person, to compensate for their own flaws and closet skeletons, rather than just being a good person. Show me a man who spends his time playing video games and stroking his pee-pee all day, and I'll show you a guy not causing any problems. These are just my thoughts. Got any of your own? Next week I'll be going over some comments on other videos, and I'm going to refrain from commenting on current events and movies for a while too, so I can get more of my personal projects done. I have a lot of stories with related artwork I have been sitting on for years now, and I'd like to see it made. Also, I'm one step closer to finishing the Nightmare Before Cyberpunk episode, seen being made over the course of a few videos over the last few weeks here. $2 Patreon if you want to see the finished project and video early. Art prints are for sale at the Art Pal store. Subscribe, like, share, you got it.